So I actually remembered I was looking through YouTube for video ideas, and I remember that I actually did the cold shower thing for 365 days straight. Pretty sure I did it every day without missing a day. This is kind of something common that I'll do when I just learn about something that could possibly benefit my life a lot, especially if it's something, like I used to be very depressed, so especially if it was something that could help with depression a lot, like I would just kind of do it. Like for instance, I read this book about how eating healthy food can help you with depression a lot, and I literally just like threw out hola, hola, que lo que, que lo que, que lo que. That is my favorite thing to do here with the kids. Que lo que is slang here. It just means what's up, basically. It's like a very informal way of saying it. So what was I saying? Walk through, no. It's gonna be too noisy to walk over there. It's too much construction. Yeah, so what I was saying is I learned that like eating healthy could kind of help depression out a lot. And I like threw out everything that had high fructose corn syrup in it. I just started eating like all way more natural shit just like that. And to be honest, I'm gonna be totally honest with you, neither of those things that I did, I don't think I really got that much benefit from them. I think a lot of the hype, a lot of the times can honestly just, I think it's, what's it called? The placebo effect. But that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. I would definitely still recommend, I mean, obviously eating healthy is a very good thing. So even if it just didn't kind of like cure my depression like that, like a lot of people say that it does, it's still very good to eat healthy. So I'm still glad that I eat healthy. Another thing with the cold showers, I want to be very clear, is I lived in California. So the water isn't really that cold, especially in the summer. In the winter, it's like sort of, chilly, but it's really not cold at all. And I have done it when I visited my parents in New York State. I did it there in the winter, cold showers, when I was there. And that is like a real cold shower. When I went to, I think it was cold enough that the pipes were even freezing like overnight. So it was like really cold. But I don't know, I just didn't, it's possible that I could have gotten a lot of benefits from it too, it just wasn't very obvious. But I really didn't notice like crazy benefits. Like I saw one video a guy made on YouTube and he was like, he fell in love with it. And he said he lived in California too. And he might have even lived farther south than me. So I was like baffled by this. But he said like he got some injury once and he took a cold shower and like boom, it just like fixed it. And I've personally never had any experience like that. If you guys have, please write it in the comments. But like, it just makes me wonder if it's placebo effect, especially since the water in California is just not that cold. But one good thing about the cold showers is, say, even if it isn't beneficial for you, like physically, or it's not doing crazy stuff like that, it is kind of cool because it's very uncomfortable. And if you just do that, it's a very simple thing that can help you to just train yourself to do something that you don't feel like doing. And I think that's a very invaluable skill. I mean, I would say that the thing that is going to make people successful, and also the thing that's going to keep people happy, is just the ability to do things when you don't feel like doing them. Like pretty much everything you do that's good for you in the future is like that. Like working out, working any sort of job or any sort of business to where you're making money is basically like that. Most of the time, even if you love your job, probably most of the time you're not going to feel like at least starting the work. You're not going to feel like it. Going, like asking out someone that you have a romantic interest in, all sorts of stuff like that. Asking for a raise at work, maybe setting a boundary with someone. All that stuff is very, very uncomfortable. Usually the uncomfortable feeling is just before you do it too, and then once you do it, you feel good. And taking a cold shower is just kind of a great way to practice that, especially if you're doing it daily, because it's so uncomfortable. And also, it will help wake you up in the morning too. It kind of jolts your system, gives you a bit of an adrenaline rush. So, if you're not like a coffee drinker, that could be something that you might like a lot. One thing I will say is don't take a cold shower before you're going to bed. I know I heard one guy said he did that on a podcast because when you cool your body down at night, it helps you go to sleep, but a cold shower doesn't actually do that. It gives you an adrenaline rush. And actually taking a hot shower, which is what Matthew, he wrote the book Why We Sleep, Matthew Walker. He stated, I think it was on Joe Rogan's podcast, he said that actually a hot shower helps your body cool down counterintuitively because your blood goes to the outside of your body more, and actually the interior, the core of your body actually cools down, which I found very interesting. That's a little key tip there. And a lot of people like to do it right after exercise or things like that. Like I've seen like ice baths. If you get very sore, if you do that right after you exercise, it will get rid of the soreness. And I haven't taken an ice bath before. I'd like to try, but I have, like, after a leg workout, I have iced my my hamstrings, like sat on ice for like 10 minutes and moved them around and had zero soreness the next day. So that definitely does work. But a little caveat, it's possible that if you take cold shower ice like right after a workout, that it could actually make you it could make it so you don't reap the total benefits from like getting stronger. I think I saw that on a Joe Rogan podcast too. I think the research, they don't really know either way, but I just wanted to say that. I don't want to just say things. Think about stuff before you try them. But like I was talking about, just doing things that make you uncomfortable is a huge thing. Another great thing about the cold shower, which might be the best part, is when you're doing it, the goal you should have is actually just to calm down your breathing and try to feel comfortable in the coldness, even though it's very uncomfortable. Because your instinct, especially like the first time you do it, you're going to be shivering, your breath is going to be super shallow, it makes it hard to breathe. You're going to be like, basically your body is going to be trying to escape the uncomfortable feeling. And what you need to do is breathe slow, deep breaths, and try to not think about it, like try not to have thoughts like, oh, this sucks, it's so cold, it's so uncomfortable. Instead, treat it like a meditation. If you've studied meditation or practiced, this will be a lot easier for you. But you can concentrate on the actual physical feeling on your body and try not to think about it or label or judge the physical feeling in your mind. This is something that can be very, very beneficial about the cold showers. If you treat it like a meditation, it can be a form of meditation in itself like that. Just trying to deal with the uncomfortable physical sensations without thinking about them and without judging them, and which will make the physical sensations worse. So this is one thing I find very interesting is like people, like if I lost my leg today, I would probably feel very depressed for, possibly a long period of time, maybe like a year or something. Eventually, I think anybody would get over it and go back to their normal level of like contentness. But I think it'd be very hard for a person to lose a limb and not feel depressed for a while. And the reason is because people, we have all these thoughts. You feel like, oh, I can't do this anymore. I can't do this, what I did before. I'm like inadequate now. I'm less of a person. But if you look at a dog, you see a dog that only has 3 legs, they don't give a shit. Like, they just keep hobbling around day to day. They wag their tail. They don't care at all. They instantly recover. And it's because they don't have these thoughts. They're not smart enough to be able to judge their own pain and judge their own thoughts like that. Another thing is like when an animal has physical pain, they're just like, they just escape it. But they don't think about it. They're not gonna like, judge the person who gave them pain if it's by accident. Like if you step on a dog's foot or something, they're not gonna hold resentment towards you for like an hour later, which people, we do all sorts of things like that. So cold showers, I don't know, I think a lot of the hype maybe is blown up. Possibly a lot of it is placebo effect, but I would still recommend giving it a shot. At least just try it every day for like a week. Especially if you live in California in a very warm place. It's super, super easy. You got no excuses. There's really nothing to lose.